All right, everybody. So this week we're going to be releasing an episode from our Patreon vault. Not even all of it, actually, just a little over half, probably. And you can get the full episode of this at our Patreon, which is patreon.com/superherostuffpod. So without further ado, here we go. We're back, everyone. Behind the wall of payments.
Indeed.
Dr.
Yes.
Fate has foreseen you being here.
Pierce Brosnan, Dr. Fate, yes.
Pierce Brosnan, that silver fox himself.
Oh, indeed. Indeed, yeah. We just saw the Black Adam trailer earlier today on that, so I'm just like,
Yes.
Dr. Fate is my draw to this movie, personally. Nothing against Dwayne Johnson, but I'm just like, James Bond as Dr. Fate. That's pretty fucking sweet.
That is cool. Did you want to talk about that first, or it looks like we're going to do Batman Unburied first?
Yeah, I was gonna go into Batman Unburied, but
Yeah.
the Dr. Fate thing kind of it made me think about Black Adam earlier today. So yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we could talk briefly about it.
It's on my mind.
All right, let's talk about it. So,
Okay.
Your thoughts? This is on your mind.
Man, I was really looking forward to this, and it's like there's stuff I like in it, but I'm a little bit whelmed to underwhelmed.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you.
Maybe
on that.
maybe I'm whelmed because I don't know. I'm not disappointed. Oh, I'm slightly disappointed, but it's just like I like the suit. I like the Rock. Okay, I like the hood a lot.
Mhm.
I like the slave story and all that. I like lightning powers, flight, magic. He'd be a good foe for Superman because of the magic weakness Superman has,
Mhm.
And like, so I'm like that this movie exists, but this trailer, man, it's just
It's
I
whelming.
don't yeah, it's whelming. I don't know why. I can't place my finger on it. There just should be like a cooler action scene. I mean, I like him punching a fighter jet, but I don't know, man. Something didn't feel like enough.
Yeah. Did you see the new Mission Impossible trailer?
No.
Because it's basically like that's what this should have been in some ways. Because like it has shots where I'm just like, oh shit, and you were telling me off the offline that like it's missing an oh shit moment with the action
Yes.
sequences, and those Tom Cruise action things usually have that in the trailer as well as the movie, of course. But
Yeah.
that's something that jumped out to me is just like we're missing that oh shit moment. There's not really anything that really sticks to you. The closest, I mean, you said the fighter jet for you. For me, is like it's maybe him tossing the guy up in the air but like we've kind of seen that.
Yeah.
It's it's whelming, as you said. I think if this was released in 2008, we would be like, oh, this is the shit. DC is like
It's
DC's
part of the
got great
problem.
now. Yeah,
Yeah.
but now we're just like, all
Post
right.
No Way Home and post, Dark Knight or whatever, like post all the really good ones. It's like it seems okay. It doesn't seem as bad as Venom or
Right.
Morbius or the
Right.
first Suicide Squad. And to be honest with you, dude, because I like Black Adam, I think I would even watch this over James Gunn's Suicide
The
Squad
Suicide Squad. Yeah, I can
again.
see that.
It depends on how bad or good this will be.
Hmm.
Um, and Birds of Prey, like they were fine, but they're just not like I like this. I like Black Adam. I like this kind of uh anti-hero, I guess. Um, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
I've read probably more Shazam comics than Black Adam. But I don't know. I just think he's cool. It's a good villain for Shazam, and uh I get the feeling, and maybe I'm overly hopeful. I totally realize this, but I feel like my gut tells me it was just a bad trailer.
It's a possibility.
Like with Morbius, well, I was kind of tricked with Morbius too, but maybe I'm overly hopeful. But
Morbius, maybe it's the opposite.
yeah, it was kind of the opposite. I don't know. Like maybe I just have rose tinted glasses on, but I feel like maybe let's see that trailer too.
Yeah, let's. The jury's still out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I was more honestly more excited about it when it was first announced. I don't know, like 20 years ago, compared to like now.
It was announced The Rock has been talking about it since like 2007, dude.
Yeah.
And it's a passion project for him. He was a producer on this. It looks like, not that I mean, a lot of Rock movies are kind of forgettable, honestly, but
Hmm.
um, yeah, hopefully, like since he's so into it, that'll help increase the quality. Like the tone is kind of good. Like it's a little bit comedic, but it's not quite Marvel funny. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Which I kind of appreciate. So I think it kind of has that going for it. Like The Rock does kind of always have a sense of humor. So um yeah, I don't know, man. I guess
We'll
we'll
see.
see. I mean,
We'll see.
be
Yeah.
cool to see some like evil Palpatine shit with the lightning.
Oh yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, we got a
'Cause he's
little bit in
gonna,
the trailer.
yeah, because he's gonna use that for a different purpose than Shazam.
Exactly, man. And we got he has a hood with those powers, so it's I don't know. It's a good look, man. Like evil druids show up on metal covers a lot, and like I
Oh,
always
she's got
love
that
that.
look.
Yeah, I love that imagery. So it's kind of like seems like that a little bit. Um, I mean, I'm still kind of hopeful, but looking at everything yesterday, and I was kind of like hyped, and then it dropped, and I was like, I don't know. I mean, I've met Aldous Hodge before. He's such a nice dude,
Hmm.
really nice guy. That his Hawkman helmet looks pretty cool.
Yeah, he looks good.
Yeah, he looks good. I guess Hawkman's just not my favorite. Like, I think out of all of them after Black Adam, it's Doctor Fate for me as
Oh yeah.
well.
Hmm.
Um, because like kind of occult shit and all that kind of thrown in like Doctor Strange with Doctor Fate. So
Yeah.
I think that kind of stuff is fun, and they're kind of getting into their kind of dark universe more and more. Well, if they ever have a universe, but they're also going to have the JSA, right? The JSA is not always in the past, right? Forgive me, internet, but I
It's
learn.
not, yeah, it's not, and I think a majority of the JSA associations, partially because of Stargirl, I think, and a
Yeah,
lot of classic comics make it feel like they're just like in the 40s, but they're not, and so like it took some adjustment for me to see it, but I'm like, well, it makes sense. It's set in modern day, so it's not really going to be that retro.
yeah, which I like. I For some reason I want my heroes in the present most of the time. Like for Captain America 1, I like it in the past, I guess, but um,
Yeah,
yeah,
it
I'm
has to
glad
have a
they're
good reason.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
like
has to have a good reason.
it
Yeah.
it fits Captain America 1 to be in World War II for obvious reasons, X-Men First Class, Cuban Missile Crisis, you can't do that now, like, all that type of stuff, and as a
Oh yeah.
prequel, it makes sense, but I'm just like, Captain Marvel, did it have to be the '90s?
Not really, man. Not really.
Yeah,
Yeah, it didn't make any sense, but I mean, it'll probably be fine, man.
it'll be fine, yeah.
It won't be Morbius, probably, I hope.
DC can't afford another, Suicide Squad 2016 type of thing, you know? We've already
Just
gone through that, we're out of that, we're trying to get into better movies now.
I don't think it'll be that bad.
I
I
don't think so
really
either.
don't. Like The Rock he's never honestly, even after all the crap he's been in, and none of it's been like terrible. It's just kind of been forgettable.
Yeah, that's kind of the worst that it's gonna be, I think, too.
Yeah. But at least he's in the mix and he'll be set up, and everybody's grandma will know who he is that has kids that wants to go to see movies like this, you know what I mean? So he'll
It
he'll
will make these characters more popular. Like, that's the best thing I can say. Like, Black Adam, nobody really gave a shit about Black Adam outside of DC people until The Rock is Black Adam, and that's gonna basically like, look at Morbius. I mean, obviously, Morbius is now a meme type of thing, but nobody really knew who Morbius was before this, and now he's he's a Twitter gem.
I
So
know. Morbin
there's
time's so funny, dude.
that.
The internet, man, has come
Yeah.
come to help us again
So
with
just
the memes that save the world.
if it just basically promotes a lot of these other characters and gets people interested in these characters, then it's done its job. You've got Hawkman, you've got Doctor Fate, Atom Smasher, probably some others that I'm forgetting off the top of my head, but those type of characters, they haven't really gotten to be in the spotlight, and they kind of have the opportunity to do that. Whereas, like other contexts, they might not have. Like, we probably wouldn't have been looking at Atom Smasher being in a movie back in 2007.
That guy was yeah, you're right. But like that guy was cast as He-Man for a little bit, I think.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
Yeah, like well, that would be totally different casting than than anybody like Dolph Lundgren. But it was
True.
cool. I mean, cool. It's
Mhm.
different, but he's not in the trailer at all. It's just Atom Smasher, right?
Yeah, you don't see him though. I think he's in the DC 2022 is our year trailer, which
Oh
obviously
man.
did not age well considering all the delays later on. But
Oh
uh,
yeah.
I remember seeing him briefly in that.
This comes out in October.
Yeah, so I think this
Okay.
comes out in October, and then Shazam is after that. Shazam 2 is after that. It would make sense if there's some sort of post credits thing in either one that ties them together.
That'd be cool. Um, yeah, let's hope it does well, man.
Yeah.
I was just so looking forward to this. And then like a movie that I was ho hum about, No Way Home, turned out to be the best fucking one.
I know. You just never know with that. Like, I wasn't really gonna care about Top Gun Maverick. I was just like,
Yeah,
"Yeah, like, the first one, it's a classic, whatever. I saw it, bits and pieces of it as a kid. It's cool they're bringing them back, but whatever." And then, like, the reviews came in, I'm like, "All right, I'll check it out." And then I was just like, "All right, it lives up to the hype." We talked about this. So I was just like,
dude.
"This is the best movie of the year. Holy shit, this is amazing. This is how they should do a Superman movie."
I loved it. Yeah, like they need to send in the Eagle, Chris McQuarrie, for the
Yeah.
for to rewrite the not Ta-Nehisi Coates script, the other one, whatever other one they got.
Mhm.
Let McQuarrie in and make a pass. Like
Yeah.
this guy is fucking gold. I think at this point.
It's
Uh,
amazing. Yeah.
yeah, like I said on Twitter earlier today, he doesn't waste your time. Like it seems like every scene is worthwhile. There's no fat. It's just like everything is necessary and hits home. Like especially in Maverick. My God.
Mhm. Jesus, yeah, like, it's so emotionally evocative, and we talked about how, like, I'd love there to be a Superman movie like this because there's funny parallels that, like, because at first I'm just like, I want something as emotional as this, and then I thought more about it, I'm just like, well, there's actually some other instances. It's stuff where people come for the flying action sequences. It's
Uh
stuff where,
huh.
like, your main character is basically bulletproof. Like, you're pretty sure Tom Cruise is not gonna bite it in this movie.
Yeah.
And everybody brings up like Superman can't die, he's too powerful and stuff. But then it's just like that's not the point. The point is, can he save everyone? What about the people he cares about? What about like the normal civilians and the ability to be able to save all of them, to bring everybody home? And that's what makes it so emotional in Top Gun Maverick. And I'm just like, if they could do something like this in Superman, it's going to be the best Superman movie ever. People will see like,
Oh,
oh, this is why
totally.
Superman is relevant.
Right. 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 Yeah. Totally. And then
So
he doesn't save some people, and it's tragedy, and
yeah, like you
shit
feel
like
the
that.
emotions. It's the emotional stakes to it that really brought that movie together. Like even before you get to all that type of stuff, you get the feeling like this is something special.
Right. Yeah, I McQuarrie, he needs they need to get him.
Yeah,
And they
definitely.
need to
At
Tom
least on
Cruise
writing.
needs to let him out of his cage and and take a pass at Man of Steel 2.
Well, apparently the next two Mission Impossibles are the last two, so that should free up Macquarie for a bit.
Let's hope McQuarrie gets freed up, man. We
Yeah,
need him in the WB. We need Zaslev, the new guy that's fucking calling a fucking crazy amount of shots. He's the one that shut down Wonder Twins and all that. Which
yeah.
honestly, dude, probably a good move, man. Like and it was
I
over
don't know
budget. It
anybody
was
who
70
was.
million.
Oh, really? I hadn't heard about that.
So it wasn't over budget. That was the budget. And dude, they're
This is
about to
over budget
fucking
for
roll.
that concept.
They're about to roll cameras, dude. Like it was really close to shooting. Uh, and fucking I think all the calls I've heard him make have seemingly have they've been good. They've been pretty good. Like they probably will do a Wonder Twins something for HBO Max, but he wants the budget to be 35 million or some shit like that, which
I just feel
sounds
bad
like
for anybody who
low,
was
but
lined up for, a gig on that. That's the main thing.
yeah, it sucks, man. But hopefully they just transition
Them to
to the
another
next thing. I
production.
mean,
Yeah.
fucking movie industry is full of just traveling gypsies, man.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
true.
not gypsies. It's not. I know it's bad in Europe, but it's not that bad of a term in America. I know it's a slur. I need to stop saying it.
I got what you mean.
Yeah, yeah. They're traveling people. I don't know.
going from one production to the next. Yeah, you're all
Yeah.
freelancers in a way for this.
Yeah.
So it sucks though to like have something lined up, even if that is part of the lifestyle. So
Yes. I
oh
know.
well, but
That
yeah, I
sucks.
can't say I was looking forward to it though. The Wonder Twins thing, I'm like, I guess good for them.
If it was comedic and like funny and like was as funny as the Deadpool movies, but in a different way, like
Oh yeah, I just thought of yeah, I just realized that could work.
yeah,
After you said
yeah.
that, yeah.
I'd want
Uh,
a comedic take with them.
it's
I don't
Chippendale,
want
but with the Wonder Twins.
Chip and Dale or something. Yeah, dude. Again, this is why Disney's number one. Look how much time and care they took to reviving an old IP like
Mhm.
Chip and Dale. Like that IP was basically dead, and they revive it pretty much with this really good, Who Framed Roger Rabbit style movie.
They knew their audience. They knew their audience so well because they knew that it was the generation that grew up with Chip and Dale were going to be the ones who were like all over the internet, know a lot of like Disney pop culture stuff. So like they leaned into that, and that was the smart move. That was the move to make.
Yeah, like, they could have just made a new bullshit show that no one cared about because no one has cared about Chip and Dale for 30 years, but they chose to not take that path and make this IP. I don't like calling it IP sometimes because it makes it so business-like, but
Yeah, very
you know,
corporate.
yeah, very corporate, but like, they chose to make these characters relevant again and like kids to love them again or love them for the first time. Like it's you got to give it to them, man.
Mhm.
They really do like seemingly give a shit.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
s- they
They
seem to
know their
really,
audience.
yeah, they know their audience. They like WB seems like they just don't know it sometimes, and that's why
Mhm.
they fail sometimes. But yeah, Disney, man, they know what they're doing.
That's true. That's true. That's where they are, where they're at, and well, uh, I guess we'll just have to see what happens
Yeah,
when it comes to all this stuff. But in the meantime, we have not covered the fact that Batman dethroned Rogan on Spotify a
dude, that
couple
was an
months ago.
upset to me. Usually,
Yeah.
when I hear news of this kind of shit, I'm like, that makes sense. But this, I was like, damn, dethrone Rogan. That's crazy.
It is crazy, especially because like it dethroned Rogan, but it's not like everybody talks about this podcast of Batman Unburied. Like it's just like it dethroned Rogan, and like that was kind of it, unless you like stuck it out with it. Because like I don't really see a lot of like the main tweets I see about it is because of the fact that one of the writers on it, Eric Carrasco, was actually one of my old classmates and stuff. I went to school
Hmm.
with him. We went to see The Dark Knight Rises together. So like we follow each other, we interact on Twitter, and so like that's the main reason why I see tweets about this. But weirdly enough, it's kind of just I just didn't really see much after that first week where it's just like we took down Rogan. I'm like, Jesus. And then like that was kind of it. It was kind of a weirdly it was done. In terms of like just being in more of the public eye outside of just hardcore Batman fans. So
Rogan's
uh
been kind of in the hot seat for a while anyway, but um, I'm sure his listens didn't go down. And plus, like his listens, man, Jesus, dude.
mhm.
If we could just get like a third of that on this podcast, we wouldn't need to work anymore.
Keep telling your friends about us, guys.
Yeah, please. Yeah, I know, man. I'm telling you, dude. I do have a friend that is a Twitch streamer, and like became like the Twitch representative to go and interview people at the Jurassic World Dominion thing.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, his Twitch name is Sancho West. His name is Cesar. Used to work with him at Melrose Mac in Burbank. I think when he left that job, he was just like, I want to play video games for a living. And fucking look at him now, man.
Well, there we go. We're getting
Amazing,
there.
dude.
We're getting there.
It just takes time. I know. Yeah, it's interesting to see people like actually do it.
Yeah, that's true. So Batman Unburied is a 10-episode podcast executive produced by David Goyer. Eric Carrasco, who went to school with me, is one of the writers on that. So obviously has my endorsement on that because we would talk about
Mm-hmm.
Batman all the time and stuff. So got a great cast. We got Winston Duke as Batman, and
Umbaku himself.
yes, and Lance Reddick is Thomas Wayne, and shit, I forgot the name of the actress who plays Martha Wayne on it. Let me look it up real quick. But
You
basically, it's
sexist fuck. Remember all the guys' names.
I'm not familiar with this actress as much. Tokes Olagundoya. Yeah, okay, yeah, I forgot.
Okay.
So she is Martha Wayne, and it's interesting because the fact that it is um, obviously an African American cast for the Waynes, and it definitely they're not disguising that when it comes to their performances in it, but it's also like not even mentioned in some of the dialogue. So you're kind of going in picturing Winston Duke as Bruce Wayne, but it's never actually mentioned that he's African American. It's never really brought up as him being any different than the Batman you know and love. So I think that was a good call on their point. Jason Isaacs is Alfred, which is great.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, all-star cast: Gina Rodriguez, Barbara Gordon, Emmy Raver Lampman is Bruce Wayne's kind of apprentice named Kel. Hassan Minaj is the Riddler, an interesting
Nice.
casting. Sort of has like an East Asian, Indian background to Riddler, which I think is an interesting take. I always
That's
thought that
cool.
having Riddler, if you were going to change the ethnicity of any of the villains, I'd always been interested in an Asian Riddler or Indian
Mm.
Riddler because of just how much it's part of our culture to like be the best or something, be the smartest and stuff. So like it seems to fit that type of
Right.
character on that.
Right.
John Rhys Davies is the MVP in my opinion. He's in
Okay.
this. He's voicing Dr. Hunter. Sam Witwer is great. He's known virally for yelling "Kenobi" in Star Wars Rebels, but he is the Harvester, and so the characters Dr. Hunter and the Harvester, those are the characters you're introduced to, but you kind of later find out who they're supposed to be. But it's obviously it's been wrapped up. You can check it out on Spotify. Let us know in the comments if you've listened to it. But I decided because of the fact that we've had this Batman podcast that we could talk about just Batman audios for this month because I kind of realized some hidden treasures, some hidden gems as well of Batman audios stuff. So today's will be on the Batman Forever audio adventure. But before we get to that, I do want to acknowledge that Batman Unburied was not the only Batman podcast we've had in the past year. We also had Batman the audio adventures on HBO Max, and I was not kind to this show last year. I said I pretty much hated it on the DC Fandom Patreon, but friend of the podcast John Hefner gave it a chance because he also felt the same way, and he's like, you know what, is actually pretty legit. And I'm like, all right, I've listened to the whole thing. I didn't really like it too much, so let me go back to it. And I don't know if I was in a bad mood originally, but I'm going to say it. I was wrong. I actually really liked it the second time around. I had the
Your
completely opposite.
knee-jerk reaction was
Yeah,
bad.
was the complete opposite. So I'm just putting out there, I do change my opinion about these things sometimes. I gave it another chance. I'm like, all
How
right.
dare you, man? Changing
So,
opinions from day to day.
how dare you? Yes, flip
You're
flop.
not the Bible
So
or whatever.
I do think
Unchanging.
the story. I'm not set in stone. No, I'm always open to be like, what if I'm wrong on this? And so I checked it out. I'm like, you know what? This actually is fun because I think beforehand I wasn't too crazy about the story or lack of story, and I think the story is still kind of a mess. Honestly, I think scenes go on for too long, but it's the way that the characters are portrayed that are actually pretty solid that I sort of missed out on the first time, where I was just kind of like, where's this going? But I sort of didn't really acknowledge how well they or how creative some of the ideas were for some of the characters. So this is me reneging on that. This is me basically saying, like, check out the Batman audio adventures if you want something completely different from Batman Unburied. Batman Unburied is very much an R-rated crime thriller, kind of like the Matt Reeves one, and Batman the audio adventures is more of like uh it's not quite Brave and the Bold, but it's kind of a little closer to
Mhm.
that tone than Batman Unburied.
Ralph
So
Garman plays the Gray Ghost, right?
he
In the
does
other one?
in Batman Unburied. Yeah, no, it's great. He's of course doing an Adam West impression since the Great
Yeah.
Ghost voices Adam West from BTAS, and it's great. It's great. It's that's deliberately a tribute, of course, to Adam West, and the way that they portray the Grey Ghost series is very much like the Batman '66 show.
That's awesome, man. I mean, I know about that aspect because I listened to his podcast, The Ralph Report,
Mhm.
uh, which is a great podcast. I feel kind of middle aged listening to it, but Whatever, dude. I don't give a fuck. It's good. It's like comfort food almost. And if anybody's wondering, I'm one of those few motherfuckers that does not have Spotify.
Mhm.
I do Apple Music because I'm a shill for Apple. I just like the look, man. Like I just like Apple's interface generally. Like I use Apple Maps. Most people that have an iPhone, I think, use Google Maps,
Mhm.
but I like Apple Maps. I like the way it looks. Like maybe Apple's fucking brainwashed me,
Wow.
but
You're the only one I know on that. I think I tried using Apple Maps once, and that's about it.
I like it. I like it. So I mean, it's just
I mean, to be
you
fair, we're
know,
Google shills. It's not like we're any better when it comes to
yeah.
Google Maps. We're just for a different company.
Apple's seemingly a little bit better with privacy too than Google, but that's another story. But I know there's a lot of pretension surrounding Apple, but I don't know, man. I've just used it for so long, and I like the interface and everything. So I used to have Spotify. I I quit years ago because one reason is because at the time Spotify did not work with Siri. So I
Huh.
couldn't do voice command like change this song or whatever while I'm driving. So I think it works with iPhone now,
I would think
but
so because of how big Spotify is.
yeah, it does now because I did try another month actually, and then went back to Apple Music again. But yeah, that was the first time that I was like, maybe I really when you drive, and I had a longer commute at the time too. Like I'm one of those guys that I use voice control. I like some people never use Siri. I
Mhm.
use Siri a lot. I like having an assistant. I like it setting alarms for me, all kinds of shit. Don't know why I'm going on this fucking tangent. But anyway, that's why I don't have Spotify.
Well, your personal Alfred.
Yeah, I like dude, honestly, yeah, like, hey, remind me to do this, remind me to do
I guess
that.
it's closer to Jarvis, but yeah.
Closer to Jarvis maybe, but yeah, it's like I have an assistant, which I enjoy, and I don't have to type, and I can do it while I drive.
Mhm.
One thing that is annoying though that Apple needs to fix, and I've been trying to get them to fix, is the fucking if you have like your podcast app up, which is just called podcasts,
Mhm.
you can't say, "Hey Siri, play this music for me." It won't like switch between apps. It won't go from podcasts to Apple Music, which drives me fucking crazy. Because when
Go
you
from
launch Apple Music,
podcasts.
it's a different
Oh,
app
I see, I
entirely.
see. Oh,
It's a different app.
yeah, yeah. See, the last time I had an iPhone, it was all part of the same thing. So that threw me for a bit because I
Oh,
think it was just all part of iTunes. You're just like, you could go to podcast or you could go to your music. I forgot that they've changed it up so it's like Apple Podcasts and Apple Music.
yes, they're separate apps, which does make
Yeah.
sense, honestly. But
Yeah, kind of, I guess, but
oh, you like it all in
I,
Spotify?
I like
I
it all.
like it.
I like it all in one, where it's just like I can switch back and forth if need be. I guess I don't really care. I think it's because of the fact that it used to be part of one
Yeah,
that like I can see how it's annoying if you're trying to switch back and forth like what you just described.
with Siri, yeah, it won't fucking do it.
Jeez.
I mean, it still won't, dude. I posted on like the iPhone Reddit and everything.
Hmm.
But anyway, I digress. I haven't listened
Yes.
to him. I guess I could listen to the one on HBO Max, but well, you
Yeah.
had a bad review at first, also, so I just never
Yeah.
got around to it, man.
Yeah, so now I'm just like, all right, I'm changing my tune. The only problem is that it's HBO Max exclusive, so you kind of have to have the HBO Max, like you kind of have to have it downloaded from HBO Max with it's video too with it. There's no like
Oh,
audio only. So there's not like you can't just have it in the background type of thing. You kind of have the video playing and it has to be downloaded or so because I don't think HBO Max is able to stream just off your data. I think it has to either be connected to Wi-Fi or downloaded. So for you to be able to listen to it during a commute, you kind of have to download it from HBO Max. That's kind of like the biggest drawback.
and will it
From
play in the background?
it won't play in the background. Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
like trying to play an HBO Max movie in the background of your phone. You know, so like that's
So annoying, man.
it's I'm just like, this was not the this is not the the place for you to put this podcast, HBO Max. Like, it sounds cool on paper, but then I'm like, this is just not convenient for
They should have just
anybody.
released it with ads, man,
Yeah.
on podcasts, on whatever, on
Yeah, the
Spotify and
YouTube
whatever the
channel
fuck
or
else,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because it didn't work. There's ads in, Batman Unburied. Like, every now and then, like, the action gets interrupted by Cheetos, but
Well, I mean, what
So
radio show, superhero show wouldn't be complete without ads,
yeah,
right?
that's true.
Like
We have
those
ads,
old
so
ass ads on the fucking old radio serials, man.
yeah, and they actually make fun of that a little bit in the Batman audio adventures too, where like they
That's
have their
cool.
own ads of stuff in Gotham, but it's like things are kind of fucked up there because it's Gotham City, so they play around with ads. It's just like some of the gags get old after a while, but it is still fun. It's still solid characterizations of the different casts. So you know what? It's worth listening to. Check it out, guys. I
I'll tell
did
you.
not like, but check it out.
I tell you what, though, man. Like I feel like maybe some of that's from it being maybe more comedic. There's something about comedy where like the first time you watch a new comedy with maybe a different style than what you've seen before,
Hmm.
like you won't like it, but then you watch it again because your friends want you to watch it or whatever, and then you find it hilarious. Like it totally clicks. I remember the
Yeah,
first time I saw South Park when I was a kid, I didn't like it, and then I saw it again because my brother was in love with it, and then I fucking loved it. And Beavis and Butthead, same thing when I was a kid. Like my knee jerk reaction was I did not like it, and then I loved it. Another slightly more recent example was Zoolander. I did not like it at all the first time I saw it, and the second time I saw it, I thought it was fucking great. Like I had a complete 180 with Zoolander. This happened. Oh, Portlandia. I don't know if you've seen that one,
yeah.
but
I've
that's
seen
a
I've seen
sketch.
a couple episodes of it.
Yeah, yeah, like that. I hated it first, and then it just clicked again in my head. I need to just fucking give comedies like
Another shot.
two shots at least. I
Yeah.
remember you said you didn't know what you thought of Harley Quinn at first.
Yeah, yeah, I know. That definitely was like the first few episodes. Like, I don't know, and then I don't know when it clicked. And to be fair, I think the series takes a while to hit its stride too. Like when I
Uh huh.
revisit the early episodes, I'm like, oh yeah, they had to set up a lot. You don't
Yeah.
have King Shark and Clayface and everybody in the first episode.
I'm an
But
actor
yeah,
of the
all the
stage
characters
and the
you love
screen.
about it, they're not in the very beginning. So I'm just like, okay, like you definitely have to sit in for the long haul for a little bit, but it's worth it in the end. So yeah,
Dude.
I mean, I think you're right. I think this is this thing where like, I wasn't really into the comedy, and here I'm just like I laughed a lot more the second time I listened to the
Oh
show.
yeah, you did. There's it's something about it, man. Your brain's got to you kind of figure it out subconsciously, and then you watch it again, and you're like, oh yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think, and then some of the stuff I liked more the second time around had nothing to do with the comedy so much as just like, oh, like you know what, this is a legit like the penguin in this is one of the highlights, and so
Oh
it's Bobby
nice.
Moynihan from SNL,
Oh
and
nice. I that's a good pick.
and he's pictured here with playing the Danny DeVito version of the penguin in a skit that they did where they're trying to get Michael Keaton to be Batman again. But I listened to this, I'm like, you know what, and this is nothing against Colin Farrell, but I would have loved to have seen Moynihan as Penguin after listening to this. He is great. He's like a nice mix of both DeVito and Burgess Meredith. Like you've got the two of the most iconic Penguins in that. So like
Nice.
if they're going to do another reboot post Farrell, that's the way to go because it's clearly a very different Penguin than what Farrell's doing. So that wouldn't step on his toes at all.
I
Farrell's
think
doing the mafioso Penguin. He's doing a little bit more traditional.
I think Farrell's got this in the bag for a while though.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
He's
yeah,
just kind of the one of the best things about the new one.
definitely. Yeah. And then I came around to the Joker and this. It's Brent Spiner.
Oh,
And
nice. Data himself.
yeah, yeah. And I wonder how much of the casting was just like, well, he had to wear whiteface for a lot. Let's see how he does with this other
It's
whiteface
radio
character.
though, man.
I
Like I don't
know,
know
I
if
know,
it's that.
I know, but it is kind of funny. He was previously the Joker in Young Justice, and he's joked before that fans called him the worst Joker ever from that because the Joker in Young Justice is just not it's just not great in either how it's written and the way he plays. It is okay, but here it's like it's a completely different performance from his Young Justice Joker. It's differently written, and I think it's the second time I realize how unique their take is on the Joker. So it's almost like it's a Joker who sort of takes advantage a little more of the fact that he on the outside looks like a clown
Right.
and is sort of a little bit more unassuming. So he's like pretending to be somewhat like absent-minded and a little bit more whimsical, but there's still like a thread of the danger.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically like a demon pretending to be not just human, but like an absent-minded, innocent human, but like trying too hard in a way. It's a really interesting take, a lot more interesting than a lot of the recent Jokers, honestly. When I really listen to it, I'm just like, this is a legit take on it. So those are kind of the two villain highlights of it. You got Jeffrey Wright as Batman before he was shown as Gordon in The Batman, and he's a great Adam West-esque type Batman who's just like uber competent and stuff. So I would I'd recommend Batman the Audio Adventures as well on this. So we're lucky to have all of these. So given all that, I thought we might as well jump into some hidden gem audio dramas that aren't Batman
Wow.
Unburied or the Audio Adventures.
Just wanted to announce that I have a new podcast called Gaming Gaiden. It's about Japanese to English translation. In this first season, it will be 10 episodes each season. If you saw the ranking, every Superman video game two-parter we did here on Superhero Stuff You Should Know, you have seen Mike before. So yes, if you like video games, if you've been interested in Japanese ever, we're going to be talking a lot about just Japan in general, Japanese cultural differences as well, and we also are going to have a lot of talk about 90s video game magazines such as Electronic Gaming Monthly, aka EGM, so stay tuned for that. So please be on the lookout for Gaming Gaiden podcast coming soon.
Ellen, in 15 seconds, what is Nice Games Club?
It's our game dev podcast. Steven, help!
Game mechanics, accessibility, art and animation, level design, prototyping.
Everything that goes into making video games. How's that, Mark?
Nice. Listen to Nice Games Club wherever you get your podcasts, or at nicegames.club.
Need some adventure in your life? What Mad Universe is a podcast where two guys delve into the history of sci-fi, fantasy, and horror, and the impact it's had on pop culture.
Everything's the same politically, but we have ray guns.
The actual motive isn't to explore something that's, quote, scientifically possible, or...
But neither is Star Wars, and I know there's arguments about that, but I would definitely consider Star Wars science fiction.
You haven't read Dune!
No, I haven't.
You can never be the Kwisatz Haderach.
What Mad Universe on the HyperX Podcast Network.
What's that? Majestically cresting the horizon as it makes its way into port. Why, it's the brand new HyperX Armada monitors, mounts, and arms. Both the HyperX Armada 25 and 27 gaming monitors come bundled with a sturdy HyperX Armada mount and arm. If you need every split second of advantage when gaming, the Full HD Armada 25 and its 240Hz refresh rate are for you. If you like to soak in the graphical majesty of your gaming, you'll be eyeing the Quad HD Armada 27 with an 165Hz refresh rate. Set sail for HyperX.com or Amazon.com to start making your display Armada.
If you're a shrewd shopper, it's about to be your favorite time of the year.
HyperX will be running massive sales for the holiday season.
Get up to 50% off some of our most popular products like the Ultra Comfy Cloud 2 headset, the tough, responsive Alloy Origins mechanical keyboard, and the fan favorite Quadcast USB microphone.
Sales will be going on at all major e-tailers, but be sure to head to hyperx.com and sign up for the newsletter to get the scoop on the biggest deals.
Happy holidays from HyperX.
Lord Swizzlington says you're wonderful.
The anniversary of Batman Forever is coming up, so let's go into the audio drama of Batman Forever, because there was an audio drama of it. So to set the stage for it, and let us know in the comments if you actually know this one. But basically, it started out with a group of tapes that had nothing to do with the movie yet. It was still Batman. It was just called Batman, Two-Face, and Riddler. And on one side of the tape was Two-Face's origin, dramatized, and the other side was the Riddler's origin, dramatized. The Two-Face one was based off of the Batman Annual number 14, Eye of the Beholder, the one that was like, that Jeff Loeb remade for the Long Halloween that we talked about. And the Riddler one was Questions Multiply the Mystery, which is one of the Riddler origins we've covered here. So
I love that name still.
Yeah, no, it's a great title.
That's a great title, man.
The cast don't really have any actors that I think most people would be familiar with, but I'll read it off anyway. Bob Stolfi was Batman, and he kind of had the opposite approach to what you hear these days. His Batman sounded like an actual like someone's voice. Like it does not sound like he's trying to do the growl. This is pre-Christian Bale and stuff. So he's not Kevin Conroy, but I did like his voice for this. We got Jim Soriero as Robin, and he would end up playing Robin a lot in this. We'll go over some other audio dramas where he's Robin. Everett Quinton as the Riddler, which is cool. You'll hear him in a bit. David Bryant as Two-Face. We'll talk about him in a bit. Peter Waldron as Alfred. Larry Keith as Jim Gordon. And Don Peoples as Boss Maroni. But one of the aspects I really love is the music. So I'm going to play a short clip of the music right here. And that's the intro.
That's cool.
So I really like that. Basically, each episode is Robin in the back computer, sort of recounting to us the origin of each villain and stuff. So that's kind of the taste of it. So the Two-Face one, we get David Bryant as Two-Face, and if you were looking for, in contrast to Tommy Lee Jones, a more subtle, more down to earth, less over the top approach to Two-Face, this is not it. This is basically in the same realm as Tommy Lee Jones. I don't know if he had seen a previous screening of the movie, or maybe the trailers. Really, had thought like, okay, they want me to be like Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face or whatever. But that's what we got. So we have a clip where you feel a little bit of it here, but this is part of the Two-Face origin.
We are no longer Harvey Dent. We are Two-Face. One half was good. We should turn ourselves in. Go home. See the wife. Apologize to Batman. But the other was evil. No. Burn the house. Forget the wife. And most of all, destroy Batman.
So those are the conflicting sides of Two-Face here. But we then
was Two-Face ever like that, even in Golden Age or whatever, or Silver Age, whenever he appeared?
Ever like what?
Like kind of over the top and
maybe a little bit, but I mean, I think that's just kind of how all the villains were written at the time.
It's just all like that, huh?
I think everybody was written like that, and then there was more nuance added once you start getting to the 70s and 80s. So it wasn't really like that in the 70s and 80s, but they're kind of going off the 66 show, I think, in some ways still. Around 95 or so. You still kind of have the ghost of Adam West and Dozier on all the stuff.
Okay.
So that was David Bryant's Two-Face, and then we got Everett Quinton's Riddler, who has a good voice for the Riddler on this. I'll play this, but this is one of the scenes from Questions Multiply the Mystery where Riddler and Batman meet for the first time.
How do you like that, coppers?
Who are you supposed to be?
What?
What are you dressed up to be? A question mark? A quiz master?
Well, that's a stupid question coming from a guy wearing
I just realized Batman has a city
ears.
accent.
But if you must know, I'm the Riddler.
Sorry, I'm not taking questions.
Ooh, a karate blow from Batman sent the Riddler sprawling. But as the Dark Knight closed in to finish the fight, the Riddler lit another stick of dynamite.
Riddle me this, Batman. If a plane crashes on the border between the United States and Mexico, where do you bury the survivors?
You don't bury the survivors.
But they will bury you if they can find all the pieces. Catch!
As the dynamite exploded, Batman leaped off the roof, falling through the air. As he fell to the ground, Batman tossed a batarang with a rope attached that snagged onto a nearby flagpole and swung to safety, his black cape swirling behind him.
That laugh.
So long, fat freak.
The Riddler got away. Sneaking back to his hideout, the quiz-making criminal swore that he'd get his revenge on the Dark Knight.
So what you hear there as well are the sound effects that, they tried to get you to buy the audio. So they would say that they were 3D sound effects, which if you think about it, doesn't really make a lot of sense.
I mean, only in the sense if it was like 5.1 surround or some shit.
Yeah,
You
I
know
don't
what
think that's
mean?
what they were thinking at the
That's
time.
that's not a thing for audiobooks. And
Yeah.
it'd be cool to see. I mean, I could see a big, like the Spotify one, like one with like an actual budget,
Mhm.
do that. But I don't think they've ever really done that before, though.
Yeah, I don't think so. So they added the sound effects there, and they decided, hey, why don't we gather this cast for a third audio drama, which would be an adaptation of Batman Forever. So that's why I basically introduced the cast through this. And I did not even know about this. I only had the tapes of the Two-Face and Riddler stuff. I didn't know that there was a tape with the same cast for Batman Forever until I discovered it on YouTube. So it's the same cast, the same music that I played for you. And the previous audios are kind of loose prequels, you could say. I mean, obviously this Riddler one doesn't quite fit in continuity because Riddler has a different origin in Batman Forever, but the Two-Face one, you could say, is set right beforehand on stuff. So they added Jennifer Van Dyke as Chase Meridian, Jay Gregory as the narrator, so we don't have Robin narrating this time, and Don Peoples goes from playing Boss Maroney to Dr. Burton in the beginning. And I suspect this is an adaptation of the Batman Forever Jr. novelization. So it's a possibility, but one of the reasons why I'm bringing this up is that the audio drama here contains deleted scenes from the movie and even deleted lines that aren't ones that are officially released on the DVD or Blu-ray. Unfortunately, there's no giant bat deleted scene in the cave, unfortunately, in this audio version, which kind of makes sense if you think about it, because like that's for audio, it just have to be all the narrator. And stuff.
Right.
Unless you have Bruce being like, there's a bat coming towards me. Like, it just wouldn't have the same effect. That's a very visual scene. But for the most part, this audio drama is the only surviving official dramatization of some of those scenes in the Schumacher cut.
Okay.
So, let's dive into, just like every version of Batman Forever, except for the final cut of the film, it opens with Arkham Asylum. So it has a very dark opening, considering what, there's a kid's thing. So let's put a little bit of it.
On the outskirts of Gotham City lies a dark, ominous building known as Arkham Asylum. Arkham Asylum is home to Gotham City's worst villains, madmen too evil and too psychotic to mix with ordinary criminals. Most of them were captured by Gotham's Dark Knight, the Batman. All of them are in for life.
Yes.
All of them are out for revenge. Revenge against Batman.
They're out for blood.
So I'm trying to imagine a kid who's like seen the movie or hasn't seen the movie yet, and he pops this in, and this intro pops in. The parents are like, "What
the fuck we got seeing, boy?"
It's like all these lunatics in an asylum out for blood. That's not how this movie opens.
Oh yeah, what are we listening to, boy? That's like everybody my age that went to see Ninja Turtles 1 in the theater, and Raphael randomly says "damn," and it was just like not what anybody expected. I mean, people that read the comics maybe, but that was like 0.00001% of the population.
Jeez, yeah, I can only imagine. The parents are just like, "Wait a minute,
dude." Raphael says "damn" in the major movie coming out. Like, it was kind of like, it seems tame now, but I mean, God, it was really
back
like
in 90, yeah.
like wow, yeah.
Jeez. So this is kind of the intro, and they do the Two-Face escape sequence. So I'll play a little bit of that there.
Security, open the door.
Machinery rumbled as the door slid back, revealing a tiny cell. In a chair in the center of the room sat a man with his back to the door. Dr. Burton was relieved to see that he was wearing his straitjacket.
Two-Face, Mr. Dent?
But the figure didn't answer.
Mr. Dent, Harvey?
Still, the man in the chair didn't answer. As Dr. Burton nervously entered the room and touched the figure, it suddenly whipped around to reveal an orderly, gagged and bound to the chair with strips of bed sheets. Dr. Burton shivered in terror. Two-Face had escaped.
So notice they don't talk about the blood message that says the bat must die for that. So they might open in Arkham with a bunch of, psychopaths being described, but they draw the line at the bat must die part on that. So that's not in there. But I do like how like the atmosphere of the sound of the music in this. It starts it's a very dark, macabre type feel in the opening here. So I do like that.
You grew up with these? You had these when you were a kid?
I didn't have this one.
Okay.
I had the Two-Face and Riddler one beforehand.
Okay.
But this one I discovered on YouTube, and then I listened to it. I was like, holy shit, there's a lot of interesting stuff in here because of how much is in here that's not in the movie and was in the script and that we haven't seen in the deleted scenes. So one of those deleted scenes was Edward Nygma preparing for Bruce Wayne's visit and fantasizing about befriending Bruce Wayne. This is not in any released deleted scene. The closest we got was this clip from the U2 music video of him preparing for Bruce's arrival. But so here's the first scene that we haven't seen in any other form other than Everett Quinton doing Riddler's lines here.
Bruce is sure to appreciate my talents. We'll probably dine at Wayne Manor together. Bruce, could you pass the gravy boat? Oops, I forgot. We have people to do that, don't we?
So just a little bit in there. So it's interesting to me how like this little bits of dialogue and stuff, they clearly had access to the original script and stuff. Maybe not a cut of the movie, but at least the script in order to come up with the script for this audio and the stuff. So that carries over. The original introduction of Two-Face is also pretty much staying true to the one that's in the script, where Two-Face is intimidating the bank guard, but he also beats on one of his own thugs, which is not in the final film. So,
okay.
You must beat him with the scarred side, because as we can see here, the ugly side of Two-Face in this concept art is way bigger than the good side.
Is this by Peter David?
If it's from the novelization, it would have been the junior one. I don't think it's from the Peter David one. So the junior one was written by Alan Grant, I think, and stuff. This is such a big production because they're just like, we're going to have a kids novelization, an adult novelization, and then an audiobook of each novelization. So
wow, they were going crazy with that back then.
Yeah. So like you could find all sorts of alternate ways to experience this movie. Not to mention like comic book adaptations and that type of stuff.
I listened to a Venom audiobook when I went through this like crazy Venom phase a few months ago, maybe last year after I saw Venom 2. But I read the Donny Cates run, which was fucking awesome. So it only exacerbated my problem of loving Venom. and yeah, just like random. There's a bunch of shit like that on Audible, man.
Yeah, I think I've seen it where they, and I wish DC did this too, but it looks like Marvel has turned some of their comics into audio dramas.
Yes, there's a few DC ones, but there's some original ones too, like Superman Dawnbreaker is one, and then there's another.
Yeah, that's from a
Batman or Nightwing one. There's a couple, but Marvel does have more of them.
Yeah, there's Nightwalker, which is like the young adult one where Bruce Wayne is young and stuff. Yeah, those are based off of the young adult novels. So like those are. I haven't heard the Dawnbreaker one. I've heard the Nightwalker one. So, but yeah, I don't think this is available on Audible. I think basically you either had to have had the tape or you're listening to it now on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. I think probably Warner Bros. Doesn't care about this at the moment, but
yeah. If they ever release the Schumacher cut and really want to lean into the nostalgia, they can. But I really doubt that's ever going to happen in terms of them releasing this. So let's see. This is the Two-Face intro with David Bryant's Two-Face.
As the bat signal floated over the city, below it, on the 22nd floor of the Second Bank of Gotham, Two-Face was hatching his next plot. He and his gang had already kidnapped a bank security guard, and now Two-Face stood over the helpless old man, flipping his infamous silver dollar with one clean side and one side horribly scarred.
Counting on Batman to rescue you, old chum? I'll let you in on a secret. So are we. Are you gonna kill me? We'll let the coin.
Notice how the bank guard is like an old Irish dude instead of the guy in the movie.
I got a real noob question again, Ben.
What's up?
Does Two-Face refer to himself as we in the comics?
It depends. It depends on the interpretation.
Okay.
It happens in Eye of the Beholder. He calls himself as we in that. But it doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah, it reminds me of Venom, but I mean...
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
We are Venom. Yeah, so...
We are Two-Face.
We are Two-Face. If they did crossover comics, dude, there's so much they could do with venomizing villains and stuff and heroes.
Man, there'd be so many different voices in Harvey's head if the symbiote attaches to him too.
Be 3 of them, yeah. It'd be honestly be awesome.
Yeah. So let's keep going with this.
Decide. Fortune smiles on you, friend. Our coin landed with the clean side up. That means you live.
But boss, there's too many witnesses. We should ice them. Uh-oh.
Oh, you stinking piece of virus-breeding rat droppings! Did you question our coin?
No, boss, never.
Good. Now, let us prepare for the arrival of our winged foe.
I like that he refers to his own thug as a virus-breeding rat droppings, but I think that's in the actual script. So I think that's Akiva Goldsman to thank on that one. So,
oh my god,
remember when we talked about the Batman and Robin draft where you've got Mr. Freeze hanging from the line like Tom Cruise in the first Mission Impossible, or Clooney removing Chris O'Donnell's face from him like Mission Impossible. We're just like, Akiva Goldsman was really into Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Well, there was a line even in Batman Forever a year before Tom Cruise rebooted Mission Impossible where Two-Face quotes Mission Impossible.
Good evening, Mr. Bat.
Two-Face's voice came over a hidden speaker.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is simple. Die.
So that's also in the script.
You know how like we're going over a lot of like 90s and 80s properties now, 30 years after the fact. 30 years before in the 90s was the 60s, so I can see why they were Mission Impossible was rebooted then, and it was on people's minds.
Yeah,
people that were kids in the 60s were in charge in the 90s. I think that's why we got
referenced it.
Yeah, we got Addams Family and oh my god, dude, all that Nick and Knight shit had movies. What's that? The country people, fucking Beverly Hillbillies,
the Flintstones,
the Brady Bunch, dude.
Yeah,
think about it. The 60s had kind of a revival in the theater.
Yeah,
in the 90s.
Right. Yeah, even bringing James Bond back in a way, because he was the franchise was dead for a while. Then Pierce Brosnan comes back in. Bond arrived in cinemas in the 60s, so makes sense.
It makes sense. Yeah, we grew up in the biggest Star Wars and James Bond paucity.
That's true.
Absolute dearth of those two franchises.
And I guess Batman too, like between Batman and Robin and Begins. And now it's just been like, we got Robert Pattinson, now we got Winston Duke, and then we're going to get Keanu Reeves. And then, Michael Keaton's coming back. All this type of stuff.
Oh, yeah. So much, dude. So much. It's because we're in power now.
Yes. The nerds. So, other Two-Face dialogue that's in the script but not in the movie, but in this audio drama is Two-Face kind of having this dialogue about life and death before he kills the Graysons.
Always the same old question. Life or death?
So, of course, he kills them after that. But as I said, like the guy's pretty much channeling a Tommy Lee Jones type Two-Face. He's not really channeling Richard Mole from the animated series. So after that, we have this deleted scene of Dick Grayson training and Bruce trying to confide in him. I would say the audio drama is actually closer to what's in the script than that was actually shot on this. But let's listen in.
When all the mourners had left, Bruce found him working out in the elaborate gymnasium. Dick stood in front of a boxer's heavy bag, punching out his frustrations.
Two-Face! Ugh! He murdered my parents! Ugh! I'm going to kill him. Ugh!
Killing him won't take the pain away. It'll make it worse.
Spare me the sermons. I don't need your advice.
But you need someone. You're alone now. I know what that's like.
No offense, but I don't think there's anything you can teach me.
Suddenly, dropping his fake billionaire playboy act, Bruce turned to the heavy bag and delivered 3 lightning-fast karate kicks that tore the bag in half.
So it was a bag,
don't be
not
too
a
sure.
makiwara.
Yeah, and I think that makes more sense for the scene, especially the way that Chris O'Donnell was working that thing. It's just like he does not know how to work that.
Yeah.
So
that's true. The best I've said this before, but I think the best makiwara scene I've seen, I'm sure there's better ones in Chinese cinema, but is in a movie called The Big Hit, which is directed by John Woo, who has Mark Wahlberg in it. It's one of the best hidden gems of the 90s. It's silly as hell, but there's like the training scene. It's kind of a montage, but I remember like the makiwara work in that was awesome.
I gotta check it out. I had a John Woo phase growing up too, where I'm just I gotta check out all the stuff.
You seen The Big Hit?
I have not seen that, so I need to check that out.
Oh, dude, it is so. I mean, it's a silly, zany 90s comedy, but man, I've rewatched it several times since then, and it holds up. It's dumb, but it's great. It's so good.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
It sounds good. Then we also have this cut dialogue where the Riddler meets Two-Face and hooks him up to the box, and Two-Face sort of reveals in the script and in this audio drama he's how Riddler was able to locate him and stuff, which makes sense because it's not really described in the movie. So here's that scene.
I see how you found us. You correlated all dualities in the city. Orders of half and half pizza, wine splits, two-tone clothing, cross-reference to dresses with multiples of two, leading you...
Here, to you. And all thanks to my little brainwave device.
We like it. We want more.
And more you shall have, my bifurcated friend. But only if we work as a pair.
We already are a pair.
A threesome, then.
So Riddler wants a threesome with Two-Face.
I like that line, man. That's good. That's good. We already are a pair.
Yes. Yeah, it's great. And that's
Holy
because I'm just like, this is
smokes,
not in the
he's
movie at all. So also what's kind of cool is that there's some of their own Easter eggs as well in the audio. So I'm going to play this bit about the crime spree between Two-Face and with Two-Face and Riddler, basically creating all these crimes around Gotham.
So that's all you get for this week. That was our episode released from the Patreon vault. We hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to hear the full episode, please go to patreon.com/superherostuffpod. And the rest of this episode and a bunch more is there. It's at the $5 tier. So please check that out. And we hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you later. Thanks again. Bye.